All right, so get this. We're diving into Loch Ness today, home of the one and only Nessie.
The Loch Ness Monster.
But here's the thing. This isn't just about some monster.
Right.
Our source material goes way deeper. We're talking cultural impact, possible scientific mysteries, and
Oh, yeah.
a whole lot of marketing.
Nessie's a brand.
For sure.
But let's start at the beginning. The folklore. This isn't some recent internet thing.
No way.
Nessie's got roots going way back in Scottish history. We're talking centuries.
Absolutely centuries. Like that story of St. Columba from way back in the 7th century.
Yeah.
Saving a swimmer from a river monster. Some people think that's like the earliest Nessie encounter.
Wow. So that's how deep this goes. It's
Right.
practically woven into being Scottish.
Part of the identity.
But, okay, here's where it gets interesting. The source material mentions that Nessie sightings actually went up after they built that new road along the loch in 1933.
Oh, yeah.
You'd think more eyes on the loch, the myth would fade.
Right. You'd think so.
But nope.
The opposite happened. It's a paradox.
For sure. So what's the deal? Well, one explanation is the road basically brought the loch to the world. Tourists, media, everyone could get there easier.
Makes sense.
Suddenly, Nessie wasn't just a local legend. It was global news.
So did the road bring Nessie to the world? Or did the world come looking for Nessie because of the road?
Now that's the question, isn't it?
Right, because it makes you think about how we see the world. Like, even something like seeing a monster can be influenced by just being able to get there.
Totally. And don't forget the psychology of it all. People love a good mystery.
Oh, for sure.
The easier it got to go to Loch Ness, the more people probably thought, hey, maybe I'll see something amazing.
I totally get that. But we can't just ignore the science part of this. How do you have this ancient myth and then people trying to prove it with like sonar and underwater cameras?
Right. It's that clash of science and myth.
Exactly. And that's where cryptozoology comes in.
Ah, yes. The study of hidden animals.
Okay, so break it down for me. Is that actual science?
That's where things get kind of controversial.
Right.
A lot of scientists say it's not really science because it relies on things like personal stories and not so much on hard evidence.
But there are people out there spending their time and money on this. What drives them?
It's a mix of things. Our source suggests that for some, it's about bringing back that sense of wonder. Like the world feels so explained and mapped out.
Okay.
They see creatures like Nessie as leftovers from a wilder time, a less explored world.
So it's not just about proving Nessie is real. It's about recapturing that lost world.
Yeah, kind of like pushing back against a world that's become too rational, too disenchanted.
Okay, I get that. But let's be real here. Nessie's a moneymaker.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Nessie's become synonymous with Scotland. Tourists from all over come to see if they can catch a glimpse.
Postcards, T-shirts, keychains, you name it.
The unofficial mascot of the Scottish Highlands.
Right. And this marketing goes way back. Our source mentions books about Nessie from like 1823.
Wow, that's before the big tourism boom.
Right. It's been ingrained in their culture and business for a long time. So we've got centuries of folklore, some scientific intrigue, and a ton of marketing.
It's a potent mix.
But I feel like there's something deeper here. It's more than just tourism dollars.
You're right. There's something about this myth that just won't quit. Why does this creature, despite never being proven or disproven, have such a hold on us?
Lead the way. Let's dive deeper.
It's kind of wild, right?
Yeah.
Like, what if we actually found Nessie tomorrow? What would happen?
Oh, man. It'd be crazy. Huge news.
Totally. Scientists would be all over it.
Yeah.
Loch Ness would be even more of a hot spot.
Yeah, for sure.
But then what would that interest last?
I don't know.
See, part of what makes Nessie so fascinating is the mystery, the what if.
Like a good ghost story.
Exactly. It keeps us guessing, keeps our imaginations going. Finding Nessie might actually ruin that.
Yeah, I can see that. It's the not knowing that gets you.
And same thing, if we disproved her existence, people might be bummed out, but eventually the myth would probably fade away.
So it's that gray area that makes it work.
Right, where belief and skepticism kind of meet. That's where Nessie lives.
In the unknown. So we keep coming back to that.
It's powerful stuff. It lets each generation reimagine the myth, put their own spin on it.
Which brings up something else from the source. The whole ethics debate. Is it right to make money off of something that might not even be real?
That's a tough one. Some folks say it's not cool to profit off a myth, especially one that's so tied to a culture's identity.
But then there's the economics of it. Nessie brings in tons of money, helps businesses and communities.
For sure. So where's the line? Is it just harmless fun? A way to celebrate something unique, or is it taking advantage of people's beliefs?
I mean, is a myth only a myth if nobody believes it anymore?
Right. And this goes into how Nessie's shown in pop culture. Like in kids' books, she's often this friendly, playful
Oh,
creature.
yeah, I remember those. It's like they're saying it's okay to believe in the magic.
Exactly. Even if the grown-ups are skeptical, there's still room for the extraordinary.
So we've gone full circle. From folklore to trying to prove or disprove her, and now back to the power of believing in the story.
It's all connected. That's what makes Nessie so interesting. She's a reflection of what we want. Mystery adventure. Something more than the everyday.
It makes you think what else is out there hiding in our imaginations, just waiting to be found.
And that brings us to a question for you, our listener. What mythical creatures or local legends have you heard about, stories from your own area that make you wonder if there's more to the world than we see?
It's like we're giving everyone their own little quest. Go explore your own backyard.
Right, because those stories, the ones that have been passed down, they tell you something about a place, how people see nature, their history, fears, hopes.
Yeah. You know, we start to talk about Nessie as the Scottish icon, but it feels like she's more than that now.
Definitely. That's what a good myth does. It breaks out of its little box and becomes universal. Speaks to people everywhere, no matter when or where they live.
It's like she represents that need for something more, something beyond the everyday. Even in our modern world, there's still mystery out there, stories waiting to be told.
And that need to wonder, that fascination with the unknown, that's part of being human, is what pushes us to explore, to ask questions, to see what's beyond what we already know.
So even if we never figure out if Nessie's real or not, she's left her mark. She inspires us, challenges us, reminds us that sometimes the best stories are the ones that leave us with more questions than answers.
Well said. And as we wrap up our deep dive into Nessie, we'll leave you with this thought. Hold on to that curiosity, that willingness to believe in something amazing. Who knows what you'll discover when you embrace the unknown?
Thanks for joining us on this adventure into Loch Ness. And remember, the search for Nessie, both the real one and the idea of her, it's a journey worth taking. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, keep that spark of wonder alive.